All right. In the previous video, we determined that the vector product property number 2 is a typo. And in fact, I was just looking at the answer key to the textbook, and their answer proof makes very little sense. And I believe there are possibly several typos in there and other errors. Um, so be careful, work it out for yourself, check it with a neighbor or something. Let's do this, the third property here, where we have any real number multiplied by the cross product. And so once again, A cross B is given by the wonderful definition A2B3 minus A3B2, A3B1 minus A1B3, A1B2 minus A2B1. And let's take that thing and multiply it all by our good friend lambda. So now we get just a bunch of lambdas times all of that. So if we write it all out, it just looks like this. Lambda A2B3 minus lambda A3B2. It's honestly just more of a pain in the butt to write it out. Lambda A3B1 minus lambda A1B3, lambda A1B2 minus lambda A2B1. I guess I missed the one there. Now what we'll do is check that if we did lambda A first and then cross that with B, it comes out to be the same. So let's write what lambda A cross B is. So in this one, every time I have a coordinate from our formula, I'm just going to rewrite it as lambda A. And so I hope you see how this works out semi-obviously. So we're going to have lambda A2 times regular B3 minus lambda A3 times regular B2. And then moving on down the line, lambda A3 times regular B1 minus lambda A1 times regular B3, lambda A1 times regular B2 minus lambda A2 times regular B1. That's exactly what I just wrote down in the bottom left corner of the screen in purple. So we just proved that A cross B is equal, or the lambda times A cross B is equal to lambda A cross with B. And then all you have to do to complete the second proof is just notice that I can commute basically the lambda with the A component. So lambda and A3 switch places, lambda and A2 switch places, lambda and A1 switch places, all of these. And then we have the definition of our third piece right there. This just becomes A2 times lambda B3 minus A3 times lambda B2, which is the definition of A cross lambda B. I'll just finish writing it out because it should be written out in its full form for it to really be a proof. But I hope that you are convinced at this point in the video that it's going to work. And there you go. Proof of property number 3. Really just using the distributive property on the definition of the cross product, and then just writing out what the cross product would be when you have a scaled multiple of A, and then noticing that the commutative property allows us to flip-flop the position of the lambdas with the A's, which then leads us to A cross lambda B. Okay, last one, hoping that there are no more typos. That would be wonderful if I didn't spend another 20 minutes trying to prove something that was false. And so let's go through. What are we trying to prove? A plus B crossed with C. Okay, let's do that. A plus B. Let me just erase the whole screen. All right, so A plus B is just going to equal A1 plus B1, A2 plus B2, A3 plus B3. And we still have our formula that A cross B is given by A2B3 minus A3B2, A3B1 minus A1B3, A1B2 minus A2B1. Okay, so now we just need to cross our A plus B with C. So all of the A's in our formula, all of these A's here are going to actually correspond to these components there. And all of the B's are going to correspond to the letters of C. So try to follow along. So A2B3 would look like this. A2 plus B2 times C3. And then A3B2 is going to be A3 plus B3 times C2. And so then we keep moving down the line. A3B1 is A3 plus B3 times C1. A1B3 is A1 plus B1 C3. Last line, A1 plus B1 times C2 minus A2 plus B2 times C1. Great. Now let's distribute and split it up into two different pieces here. And so it should be A cross C and B cross C. So we're just going to collect all the A's and all the B's. And so write them as two separate vectors. We have A2C3 minus A3C2, A3C1 minus A1C3, A1C2 minus A2C1. That's one vector. Plus B2C3 minus B3C2, B3C1 minus B1C3, B1C2 minus B2C1, and that's A cross C, and this is B cross C. And so what I have learned from making these proof videos is it is great to double check that a property is true before you try to prove it. So thank you. Let me know what else I can do to help out.